Hello, welcome back to another episode of
Too Much to Ask.
I'm Jas.
And I'm Joe.
And I'm going to start off by asking you a question, Joe.
Go on.
Would you rather lie or tell the truth to get out of a situation?
Depends on the situation, I
Okay.
think.
Say for some miraculous situation that you were on a date with someone and you really didn't want to be there. Would you lie or would you tell them the truth? That it wasn't working or something. You felt uncomfortable or you felt like you didn't match. Would you tell them or would you come up with a lie?
I'd tell them.
That you didn't feel comfortable or
Yeah.
you didn't like it?
Yeah.
Really? I
I'd be
would lie.
I'd be upfront with it. I wouldn't lie.
I would lie.
But I think that's because I'm quite an upfront person when it comes to things like that.
True. So I would always lie because I would do it for the sake of them. Like, if I just thought we weren't matching, I wouldn't want to tell them, oh, we're not matching, because I didn't want them to think, oh shit, have I done something wrong? So I'd just be like, oh, I don't know, gotta go, emergency.
Yeah. No, I'd be
Okay.
upfront.
But what about if it was to get out of trouble? Would you lie or tell the truth? If you've done something wrong and you're
Sometimes
confronted.
lie.
Why sometimes?
Again, it depends on the situation, but I just feel like it would be an easy route out of things.
True.
But then sometimes you gotta be honest. If there's clearly no way of getting out of things, then you've got to be honest. But if you can envisage a route out of things, then I'd do that. I think.
Fair play.
Yeah.
What if you were in the wrong and you were fighting your cause and then you realised you were in the wrong? Would you lie your way out of it by trying to convince them that you're still correct even though you know you're wrong? Or would you just give in and be like, oh, okay, actually, you know what, I was wrong?
I think I might give in.
No, you wouldn't. If you were having that argument with me and you were trying to convince me that you were right about something, you definitely wouldn't. You would fight till the end.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up that easily. Easily.
You would gaslight me.
Yeah,
But to be fair, I would definitely gaslight you.
exactly. So then it's just a constant gaslighting battle.
Do you know how I gaslight you? Gaslight you.
How?
By making you confused. I swear I don't do this often, but if I'm trying to win something, I will make you... No, if I'm trying to win something and I realise I'm in the wrong, I will make you confused so it seems as though I'm also confused, so I didn't actually get it wrong, we're just both confused. So, for example, say you're like, oh, there's 2 elephants in the room, but there's actually... Oh, and I think there's only 1, but there is 2, and I realise during our conversation that there's 2. I will be like, wait, no, I'm confused. Wait, what are we trying to figure out? I thought you were talking about how many eyes there were on the elephant. And then you'll be like, what? No, we're talking... And then I'll just keep making you confused by gaslighting you. And so it just makes it seem like we're confused about what we're talking about. So then I'm not in the wrong.
I don't think that's very nice of you.
I only do it to you, though.
And you expect that to be a good thing.
That makes me seem really toxic. I swear
Yeah.
I don't do it in a toxic way.
She
It's just...
definitely does.
No, because afterwards I will tell you the truth and laugh
She's-
about it.
No, she's the most toxic person out
No,
there.
I'm not. I just find myself funny.
Okay, Jas.
That does actually make me sound really, dodgy.
Yeah.
I swear. Joe, you have to actually... I'm not actually dodgy.
No, she's not dodgy. She's tolerable.
Thank you.
Somewhat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But you know what this leads us on to? This whole conversation about lying or telling the truth.
It's truth or lies.
We're going to be playing a game. I think it's called Confessions or something. We each have written down 3 stories. They're either real, they're false, or maybe they're a bit of both. And we're going to read them out to each other. And we get to answer questions and stuff like that, trying to investigate whether we think it's a real story or a false story. And we'll see who knows each other best. Who can see who's lying or not.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to start?
Sure.
When you're ready.
Okay, so my first one is when I was younger, and me and my mates used to go to a woman called Lady Fennell's to play football. It's somewhere I've shown you where I used to live. And we used to go there, like, almost all the time. We used to ride our bikes, like, all the way there and play football. And lots of incidents have happened in that woman's garden. This woman's very lovely for, like, letting us play football in her garden. But the amount of times that we've probably fucked up her garden is quite disgraceful. Because one time, my mate called Tom took a free kick and it smashed the woman's patio window, completely shattered it. And I don't think we've really been there since, I can't lie, but that's understandable. But one time when I was playing football, because my aim was pretty shocking, because I wasn't really necessarily kicking it in, like, the right place, I basically kicked the ball into this little sort of canopy thing that she has in her garden. It's like this bit where you can sit.
Yeah.
Not knowing that there was a massive bee's nest.
Right.
And it was, like, in the roof, and it was awful. And I kicked it, and it hit the bee's nest. And I went to retrieve the ball, but I didn't know that the bee's nest was there. So when I went in, I got attacked by loads of bees, and then my mate was following me, Will. And they started attacking us, and then I got stung twice here and on my leg because I was wearing shorts.
Right. Okay, so what happened after this? Did you tell her?
Tell who? The woman?
Yeah.
No.
You just let the bee's nest live?
I mean, I think she knew anyway, I can't lie. But me and my mates were just like, okay, let's probably not play here anymore, considering there's a nest
so
of
after
bees.
you hit the bee's nest, you never went back?
We did go back, but like that day.
Was that before or after kicking the glass? Shattering the glass?
Before. The glass was the last time we went.
Right. What did the bee's nest look like?
It just looked like a bee's nest, didn't it?
Describe it.
It was in the roof.
What did the bee's nest look like, though?
Well, it was like a yellow... not yellow, but you know what I mean, like a pale bee's nest. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a bee's nest.
Right. They all, like, came after you, like, swamped around you?
No.
No?
No, they were just a bit angry. Like how bees' nests would be if you kick a football in their home.
Okay. Have you ever got stung by a bee? Like, prior to that situation?
No. That was the first time.
Were you crying?
No.
Oh, did it hurt?
Not really.
Did it not?
No, I didn't think it was as bad as people make it out to be, but...
You know, I once got stung on my ankle on the school playground.
Really?
Screamed and cried. They had to pull out the little spike. I don't know, like year 3.
See, this was like 3 years ago, so...
Oh, fair enough.
Like when I moved, just before I moved house.
Were they wasps or bees?
Bees.
Oh.
They were like honeybees. They look like wasps, but they're honeybees.
Okay. I think you're lying, Joe.
Dear, why?
I just feel like this is a story you would have told me.
I don't think so.
I just don't really see... I just don't get why there would be a bee's nest there if the lady knew and she just left it there.
I don't think she really used it, to be honest, because it was quite overgrown in that part of her garden. Like, her garden's well kept, but that part was pretty overgrown.
Okay. So, I still think you're lying.
I am lying, but it didn't happen to me, but it happened to my mate.
Will,
yeah.
so there was a bee's
So there was a bee's nest in the canopy, but it didn't happen to me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
Right.
it did actually happen.
But you didn't get stung?
No. I've never been stung by a bee.
Ever?
Ever.
Or a wasp?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
It fucking hurts.
People have said that it hurts, but people have said that it doesn't. So I'm excited to see.
But when I got stung, it bloody hurt. It's because I sat right next to I actually sat next to a beehive nest.
Well, this was a beehive nest. It was bloody huge. The roof was like 2 meters in, like,
Wide?
it was a circle, but it was 2 meters either way, so it was quite big.
Diameter?
That's what I was going to say.
No, that's half of a circle.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
The
2 meters.
circumference?
No,
Oh,
it is 2 meters diameter. Yeah.
okay.
So it's quite big, and the nest was huge.
Oh God, and she just left it.
I think she did get it sorted in the end, but we didn't tell her.
Fair enough. Right, my go. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
So, one night before I knew how to set alarms, because I'm a massive alarm setter, I was woken up to this like loud as fuck song playing, and I thought it was my friend because Fee was around. We were both quite little, and she was sleeping on a mattress on the floor next to my bed, and I was like telling her to shut up because it was like the middle of the night and it was so loud, and she was like, you know, bitch, it's not me. And she didn't swear because, you know, we were quite young. But after fucking like so long of this song, like,
Sorry, hold up. After fucking so long. Wow.
you pervert.
Carry on.
So after a really long time of this song like radiating our ears, I realised it was just my iPod and it was an alarm going off. But it was weird because I had never touched the alarm app, and I had no idea that I had set it. So still to this day, I don't know how that happened. That's the story, Joe.
How old were you exactly?
Oh God, I don't know. Like 6, maybe 7. It was when I had my old bed, my little bed. That when I used to sleep in that bed, it had like curvy, like metal bits on the side of the bed, and I used to wake up with my hair stuck in it. And I had to scream for my mum to help me every morning.
What song was playing?
Probably some sort of JSL? JLS. Put your hands up if you're in that. Probably something like that.
I'm not surprised. To be fair, I feel like this is true. Somewhat. I think it is true. I can believe it because you're quite the avid alarm setter. You set about 50 alarms to wake
But
you
I
up.
had no idea the alarm app, like what it was or how it worked. So I don't know how the alarm went off because I'd never
didn't
touched
set
that app.
it?
No, I'd never touched that app, and it just went off, and it was like weird as fuck. Because it obviously you also had to set a song to it, and I'd never touched that app.
Have you ever had iTunes?
Yeah, on my iPod.
Did you use iTunes?
Yeah, I had about like 3 songs.
And okay, because I'm thinking of the logistics here. On the alarms app, the only thing you can use is Apple Music or iTunes sounds. And you tend to use Spotify quite a lot, even though you were quite little back then.
Yeah.
And Spotify probably didn't really exist.
No. Where are you getting at, Joe?
I think it's true.
Do you? Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You're correct. It is true.
What can I say?
I don't know how the fuck it happened. And me and Fee were just fucking laughing our heads off because it was just this really loud song. Like, it woke up my parents next door. It was that loud and it just went on for ages. I had no idea what it was.
It's kind of wholesome though, waking up to a song.
Not really when it's the middle of the night. It's kind of creepy.
I think
And
that's
do you know
just...
what else is creepy? Is I probably turned my iPod fully off. Because I always turn off my technology fully off.
Strange. You've got a weird thing for that stuff, haven't you?
Strange things have happened.
You like turning all your plugs off, whereas in my room, all of my plugs are still on for everything.
Your room is just a hazard. Straight up hazard, man.
Has anything happened?
Don't jinx it, please.
I do live in a thatched cottage, so if anything does happen, my house will burn down. But do you know what? It's...
Right, moving on swiftly.
Okay, so the next one is when I was in primary school, and I was in like year 5 or year 6, and every evening after school I had to walk to my mum's work. She worked at the nursery next to the school, and I had to walk there so that she could take me home. And when I do that, I literally have to just sit in the building and just wait for her to like tidy up the place and all of this. And basically one time when she had just finished tidying the place, we went to the to her car, and I get in her car and put my seatbelt on, and then she starts reversing, and straight away we crash into somebody.
Into somebody?
Not someone's car. Basically, someone had... Because there's a roundabout at the entrance of the school, like a small mini roundabout. They came in and went round the roundabout and then parked behind my mum. Like, directly behind. And my mum started reversing, and because she's quite the... careless driver in the sense that she doesn't really tend to check her mirrors, she reversed straight into the woman.
Wow.
Woman's car, not the woman, don't worry. And the damage that happened to the car was quite something. But it's just quite funny that as soon as I sat in the car, she reversed and crashed straight away after school.
Right.
And the caretaker at the school saw it happen and rinsed me every day after that, pretty much.
Oh. Okay. So, I kind of believe it because of the stories you have told about your mum crashing. But at the same time, I don't know why you were explaining these stories, you didn't bring up this one. So did she have to get a new car?
She didn't have to get a new car, but it was a Mercedes A-Class, and it was in white, or it was her CLA class. It was either the white car or the black car, but the person that we reversed to was in an Audi A1, and that was white, and we caused a lot of damage to her car. Even though it was just a reverse, it caused a lot of damage, and the rear bumper of my mum's car was pretty broken.
Right.
Correct.
So your mum did have to get a new car?
She didn't have to get a new car, she just got it repaired, but it did cost a lot of money. But I think we leased that car.
Right. And what about the other car, like the insurance? How much did she have to pay the other car?
Don't know specifically, but...
Quite a lot?
Yeah, my dad was pretty peed off.
Right.
Understandably so.
And why did this caretaker rinse you? If you were just a tiny little tot?
Well, he didn't rinse me, he rinsed my mum. To me. About the fact that she reversed into someone.
Right.
Because the woman was behind her. But the thing I don't understand is why the woman was just sat behind a car.
That's true.
And, like...
Yeah, why was
thought
she
nothing
there,
of it. I don't have a clue.
It was
like, she had the whole
closing.
rest of the car, basically that part of the car park. She was picking up her son, I think.
I thought the nursery was already closed. Your mum was cleaning up.
No. No. Listen, you didn't let me finish. Okay?
Right.
The woman that parked behind my mum was picking up her school child from the primary school. The nursery finishes before the primary school.
They had the same car park?
Yeah. It's all together.
Okay. I think you're lying.
You think I'm lying?
I do.
It's the truth.
Really?
It actually happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Why have you never told me that?
Because when I was writing these down, it
just came to you.
I was thinking so hard about what to talk about, and it took me so long to write these down, and that came to my head. You told me not to write anything that
I'd been
you
told
already
before.
knew or had been told before, and I thought it was quite a good one to explain to you.
I love your mum, but I do actually see her doing that. Bless.
She's a bit clumsy when it comes to driving, but yeah.
Oh, that was quite good, Joe. You got me. So, Joe, I still sleep with a nightlight, as when I was growing up, I didn't have one, and during the night I needed the toilet, but I couldn't see. So whilst walking, I tripped and smacked my head into the door, which left me with a scar right where this T in my forehead is. And ever since, I just slept with the nightlight on.
Now, I know about the T that's in your forehead, but I feel like you would have told me that story.
Maybe.
Because you have brought it up recently, and it was the first time you ever showed me it.
But to be fair, when I brought that up, I only said that I didn't know why I have the T. I have a scar there, but I don't know where the T came from. My head, when I raise my eyebrows, creates a T indent in my forehead, by the way, guys. Don't know where it's from, but I do have a scar there.
Let me look.
Okay.
Come closer. Come closer. What, that? At the top?
I've never told you really about my scars, though, have I?
I think you've told me about...
The knee.
Yeah. And that's about it, probably.
Exactly.
I think you're lying.
Do you?
And the reason I think you're lying... Did you say that this is the reason why you now sleep with a nightlight?
Yeah.
That's where I think you're lying. I don't think it is the reason.
Why?
I just feel like you might have said something different previously, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So it's a lie.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm actually sick at this.
I just slept with a nightlight because I'm scared of the dark,
Yes.
and I still am.
Yes.
This scar is from when my sister pushed me down the stairs.
Right. Because the reason
cracked my
I got
head
that,
open.
the reason I got that is because you were talking about it on one of your TikToks, and you said the reason why you sleep with a nightlight, and you said it's because you're scared of the dark.
Oh.
And I remembered it, so I caught you out there.
Smarty pants.
That's where I remembered that you said something different about your nightlight and not smacking into a door or whatever you just said.
Yeah, I've literally never gone a day without sleeping with a nightlight on. I don't know how. I still don't know why I have the T indent. I know the scar, but not the T indent.
Yeah.
But well done, Joe.
I'm so good.
You've won again.
I'm so good. Okay, so my final confession is back when I used to play judo. When I was around 6 years old. Maybe a little bit more, I can't remember. But I used to play judo and I hated judo. And I was quite bad at it. Even though I did get to green belt, I was pretty shocking. And I never got a gold medal. I always ended up with bronze medal. Because I was probably one of the worst there. I won't lie. And in judo one time in the competition, I was against someone that was around my age, called Jeffro.
Jeffro?
Yeah. And we were in a competition with my dad watching on the sidelines, and he did a ippon sianagi.
Sorry?
It's a throw, and it's like an over-the-shoulder throw. I think that's what it means anyway. But it's one where you get them under the armpit and throw them over your shoulder. And in judo you learn about, I've forgotten what they're called, but you learn about smacking your hand on the mat so that you don't break a bone.
Oh.
And one time I landed on my collarbone and it snapped in two.
Ew.
And I was, and that was how the match ended. And then I was sat on the stairs, because do you remember in Fremantle, like the old building, how there was this wooden steps up to the main stage in the main hall? I was sat on one of those steps with tinfoil around me. And, yeah.
Okay. How long, did you ever play judo after that?
No.
No?
No, that was the reason I quit.
Was it? Oh. Was it, did you go hospital?
Yeah.
And you were in a cast?
I was in a cast and then they had to drill it together. Not drill it together, but they had to get like a metal thing that brought the bones together because they were like quite separated.
Okay. I feel like you're telling the truth because you've told me that you've broken your collarbone before. No, you're lying. You've never broken a bone. You've broken your finger. No, you have. You've done something to your collarbone. I don't know if you've broken it though. Okay. You have. You have broken it. You sounded too much in detail. I don't remember you telling me this though, but I feel like you're telling the truth. Partly the truth. Maybe that's not how you broke it.
You are wrong.
Oh.
I was lying that whole time.
Fuck's sake.
However, I've done the same thing as I did with my first one. It actually happened.
You did actually break your collarbone?
No, I've not done anything to my collarbone. I've torn my ACL in my knee. I think that's
I
what
swear you've done something to your collarbone.
Never.
Nothing?
No.
Ever to your collarbone? No. Really?
Mm-hmm. I've shattered my finger, my middle finger, but that's the only bone I've broken.
Why do I have a vivid memory of you in a cast? I don't...
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Oh.
But this actually happened to my brother, Will.
That's what you told me. Oh, yeah. Fuck's sake.
It actually happened to my brother, Will. And his collarbone literally snapped like an inch apart. And... he was wrapped in foil, and the guy was actually called Jeffro, which I think is quite a fitting name.
Jeffrey or Jeffro?
Jeffro, right. Which I think is quite a fitting name for judo, considering it's all about throwing, and his name's Jeffro.
Right, yeah.
So
that's really interesting.
But yeah, I caught you out again.
Oh, no, if I would have remembered that's about Will. That's why. I knew you've told me that story before. Fuck, I need to listen more.
You do. This is exposing you, Jas. Oh.
Okay, moving on to the last confession of the podcast. When I was growing up, my family used to live in Spain, and to get to our house, we always had to cross like a waterfall, part of a waterfall. And this particular time it had been raining a lot, so it was flooded, and when we were going across it, our car basically got stuck in the, is it called like the current, is that what it's called, like of the water?
Stuck in the water?
Yeah, like, but because of the current was moving fast and it had overflown, so our car got stuck in it and was like held on. So I don't know how to show this. But if you imagine a right angle, at the bottom of the right angle, another drop down, like a staircase, yeah?
Yeah.
The waterfall on the flat bit is where we would drive past, and the waterfall had overflown, so we were very close to getting pushed off this, like, the cliff part before it went down into some more water, and our car was literally hung on by a rock. Like, the rock was holding the wheel before our car fell down, and our car started filling up with water, so we all had to get out. And my parents hate talking about this. Like, I never realised the severity of it until like I brought it up literally not that long ago, where my parents had to hold like 4 children under the age of like 6, 7 and get us across this like water that was it was so dangerous because it was such a strong current that, you know, we could have just fallen off and died. And they still don't know how they did it, but they managed to get us all across. And, like, we had, like, cuts all over our faces from the palm trees, sort of, like, the leaves that, like, went across our face and stuff like that. This was coming back from school, and so I was in my school uniform, and I always take my shoes off in the car. Like, it's just something that I've always done. And I left behind one of my school shoes in the car. So I was going through this water, like, with my dad, and my foot was soaking wet because I left my school shoe in the car. And that's the story, Joe.
How old were you when you left Spain?
4 or 5. This happened when I was, like, 4 or 5.
How was it flooded? Like, you said about it raining, but I don't know where I'm getting at.
No, me either. But it flooded because it had been raining, so the water was much higher than usual. So when our car got stuck... The car?
No. The bit that you were at is at the bottom of the waterfall.
Yeah, the car.
What?
The car. The bit we were at in our car.
Right.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, the bit that you were at in your car, was that at the bottom of the waterfall?
No, it was... Let me draw you what it looks like.
Okay.
This is the waterfall. So water...
Okay, so this is the right angle she was talking about.
And then this is where the car is. And you have to cross it, and this is our house.
But why is it not always flooded?
Because it's not always raining.
But it's a waterfall that's going over the road, so you have to cross it.
It's not like a full-on waterfall.
It's a little one.
Yeah, like trickling water.
Okay.
We lived in the mountains, by the way.
Now, I can see it being true.
Can you?
Because you've mentioned something like this to do with having a scare...
At the water park?
At a waterfall. You had a scare at a waterfall. Something happened at the waterfall. But I can't remember specifically what you said it was.
I told you about the water park, how...
No, I'm not on about the water park. You've told me something about a car and then something about a waterfall. I don't know if that was in the same conversation or what, but I feel like there's a possibility it could be true, but I just feel like it's a bit far-fetched. But I could be wrong. And I won't be surprised if I'm wrong. But either way, I still win, so... What can I say?
You are wrong. Actually happened.
It actually happened. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not surprised because I feel like you have mentioned it before.
If you bring it up to my parents, they will not talk about it. They genuinely don't know how we survived that day.
It does sound scary. Especially how the car was literally hanging on by a rock.
It was literally one rock. Like a big rock.
Yeah. I don't mind losing that one because I knew that there was a possibility of it being right. Because you've told me it before. You have told me it before, but I vaguely remembered.
That and the water park is the reason we left Spain. But I did leave my school shoe in the car. Never got that back.
That's intense. Imagine if that went wrong.
I know.
How steep was the drop?
To the point we probably wouldn't have survived.
Fucking hell. Well, at least you're alive.
At least I'm alive.
At least everyone's alive. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there we go. There we have it.
That was fun.
Yeah, you
they
guys
were
got
interesting
to
stories.
Learn more about us. Yeah, they were. You won, Joe, though.
I did win. That's why I didn't mind losing that one because. But then again, I did think it was true. So.
But not enough.
Not enough. But.
I need to start listening to your stories more.
You do. You do. It's clear that you don't really tend to. No, you don't. You tend to interrupt me when I talk to you.
I've just got so many thoughts going on, Joe. It's not my fault.
Yeah, and you never let me finish. She does sometimes. It just depends on what mood she's in. If she's in an annoying mood, then she won't.
Talkative mood.
Annoying mood.
Okay, well that's... I'm kidding. True. But that's it for today's podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, that is everything. We hope you enjoyed it.
Indeed.
And again, this will probably turn into another series because I quite enjoyed it.
Did you?
Enjoyed
Me too.
doing it, even though it was a task for me to make up stuff, and it will get to a point where I will run out of things to say. So maybe it won't become a series, but we'll do it on and off.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, we're new to this, but yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
And
We'll see you next time.
we hope we're not boring you just yet.
Hey.
I'm joking.
No, true.
It's
Oh,
good
well.
to have a little natter.